Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlefolk? We've got ourselves Hero in the bottom left side for Twisted Minds and Cure for Team Liquid in the top right side. A TvP best of 5 in the semi-finals of the PiGosaur Weekly. Now, I know that Hero has a lot of the Terran players intimidated of late. That being said, there have been moments where guys like Beyond take him to town. But I think when he's playing Sidestorm, he plays his best possible StarCraft. And I know there was a few weeks playing Colossus. Didn't go so well for him, but now that he is back on the Storm train, from what I've seen, we'll see if he can kind of take Cure down. Cure, no doubt, going to mix in some nasty all-ins in the series. I do worry a little bit that he might play a bit too standard. Cure is kind of the king of standard TvP. He's kind of unshakable. I do think you sometimes need to do something stupid to beat Hero in this matchup. It's kind of a weird thing to say. This is an engineering bay block that's been scouted, by the way, so should just pull 2 more probes, or 3 more once that engineering bay goes down. Usually about 5 or 6 probes is fine. Cure, honestly, I wouldn't even bother starting the engineering bay if I was him, but I like the way he's kind of delaying to the last possible second. And then he does say, haha, I still will delay it, because he knows Hero was almost at 400 minerals. And every second he gets built on this eBay will delay that Nexus by a good amount. Now, you can see that Cybercore super delayed. Wow, that's so sloppy for Hero. It's so sloppy. He was so convinced he was going to get the Nexus down that he didn't send a probe until like 3-4 seconds after the engineering bay block actually was down. He should have already had a probe waiting, assuming he would have to go Cybercore first, but Hero is a gambler. He was gambling on the fact that he could chase that SCV off and that Cure wouldn't commit to an engineering bay with how that had started. Now, Cure does actually go Command Center before Factory. What an... Oh, that's interesting. I really thought he'd be going Factory before Command Center with this build. You know, he did go Gas first. I think continuing to commit to the Engineering Bay block, it's probably worth. You're over there already. You force a big reaction. Cybercore's late enough. This Adept isn't going to get to your base that quickly. Not that Cure knows that. He's gone across with a Reaper, and he's building a reactor and a factory behind it. The timing of both being spotted by the probe. He goes back to confirm that's not a second barracks. Does Hero. Knows what's going on. And there's a second gas behind it. Okay, so pretty straight up play. Cure's going to come in, and he's just going to have to keep that Adept at home. That's his whole job here. So he will actually jump up to the main. Only takes 1 hit. If he could maybe just make these probes run away a bit. Shouldn't be able to get a kill unless Hero really messes up his micro, but he stays in there. Okay, Cure. I mean, that's a dead Reaper for sure. Does get a probe. Despite the Citizen's arrest, the probes actually came in to get that kill. I don't think it was the Adept that finished it. And now the Adept and Stalker will go across the map. There is a tech lab building, but it's going to be a little while until he gets up to that next step. Okay, probes just harassing the depot. No worries. Commencing is going to be morphing. Twilight Council has started. Only 2 Marines. But the Cyclone has begun, which is the most important unit. That's the unit that's going to push these guys back. Obviously, all time, I think Cure has one of the best TvP win rates in the world. Against Hero, probably his weakest matchup. I think you put him up against Max even. It's got to be better than against Hero, right? Max a pretty straight up player. Hero, remember I was saying sometimes you got to do something a bit stupid to beat Hero. It's just like, I think Cure might be too solid, and that might make him a little too predictable, where Hero could kind of bounce between extreme aggression and extreme greed here. Cyclone and 4 Marines beats this. You just need to shove in with both at once. He's going to let him escape. I think he realizes it's a bit too dangerous with only 4 or 5 Marines in the Cyclone. You don't want to lose the Cyclone. And he is now going to build a tank and a medevac behind. Okay. Looks like a big sign of aggression, but it could just be using the Cyclone to help that, you know, the medevac, sorry, to help that Cyclone pick up and drop. Nice Adept cancel. 2 more gateways on the way, so it's going to be... Is that 4 gate? Oh, 4 gate blink for Hero. Hello, but with no Robo. Who the heck plays 4 gate blink without Robo? I guess he makes a sentry, and then he uses energy recharge to hallucinate to jump up the cliff. I mean, it's going to be very good defensively. Q is going Raven now. Second barracks on the way. His next siege tank is very delayed, and a bunker will go down. Robo does drop now. I feel like he should still be going sentry, but he's really worried about a Widow Mine drop or anything like that. Hero taking a very defensive stance today. You can notice his third still not down at almost 5 minutes. So yeah, okay, cool. Check this out. So Hero, I think Hero's learned from watching Classic. Remember Classic at EWC? super safe, but a shield battery on each base every game, made a ton of units. Obviously here, Hero didn't do that, but he got eBay blocked, and then he's kind of been in the face of Cure since then, so he didn't need the shield batteries. He's had full map control. Does build one now. Even now, delaying his third to like, what, 5.5 minutes or something? And even though he's gone Robo, I sense that he maybe plays Storm here. Dude, still no Sentry for the high ground vision is bizarre. It's such a defensive 4-gate blink. I think Hero was kind of banking on a more aggressive play out of Cure, and it just hasn't happened, so... Now he's poking in with Stalkers, and I think Q is going to be in a pretty good position just because macro-wise, hasn't missed a beat. Similar work account, which is great for Terran. Of course, Protoss will catch right up the moment he decides to actually build probes in Nexi. Protoss has some of the best econ production in the game. Wow! Blinks forward for a tank kill. 4 Stalkers, and he does get the bunker as well. Oh, that blink barely saving the 5th Stalker. Tanks shuffled down the ramp, though, so I think... This is completely fine. He can rebuild that bunker. That, of course, is a very good trade for the Terran. Happy to lose a tank and a bunker for 4 Stalkers. Raven's going to go in for some auto-turret harass as well. And it is indeed the Templar Archives. As expected here. I mean, it wasn't going well for him playing the stuff. Oh, cancel that. Cancel that. Q is not watching. He's not watching. Wasted auto-turret. And now 4 Stalkers going to come in. Better to go hide in the dead space. Good reaction, at least, there. Single shield battery shuts down single auto turret very easily. Hasn't quite clicked to the corner, it appears, but yeah, it looks like good enough. Prism towards the main base. That is 4 Stalkers. Cyclone's there, but uh-oh. Should have ran to the right a lot quicker if you wanted to save that. Stalkers have blinked, and they're going to pick off at least 3 or 4 SCVs, which is a really nice catch, right? Mining time, 2 SCVs, a Cyclone. Doesn't need to lose any units. Grabs a Marine, 2 Marines, and then does pick up to get on out. Could redrop if he wants to, but with a siege tank there and a Marine, probably not worthwhile. Double drop of Marines, going to head to the left side. Is it noticeable that something's missing? I mean, his base looked kind of empty. Observer sees tons of units just not there. You're like, where's the army? You have to have your suspicions start to rise here as Hero, as that double drop. If it unloads in the corner of the base and doesn't just boost in. Oh no, if the first time you see this is when he stims in, this could be devastating. I mean, there are some Stalkers at home. He's whooping a High Templar there, but, like, not that many, man. He's got 11 Stalkers. I don't even know where they all are. There are 4 in the back of that base, though. Okay, there are 4 in the back of the base. Storm, not quite ready. Feedback does come in. Oh, nice battery healing. Okay, I thought he would get on top of the probes a lot quicker. I think Q wasted a little bit too much time. Storm did get depowered, though, so he can't get taken out of that. Oh, he gets the full prism with 4 Stalkers inside. That was the prism with 4 Stalkers. He kills a bunch of Zealots as well. Q is mauling Hero right now. He's attacking the front at the same time. He lets those Marines go down. He's lost so much mining time because the Raven just went down for a double auto turret as well. Dude, that is insanity. Army's going to gather up on the front and just try to force the fight. But remember, Storm will be finished now. Has been repowered. Question is, what is this Terran army? It's very small. It's a handful of units right now. It's a Widow Miner siege tank and a small handful of Marine Marauder. Storm does go down, does some decent damage. I think Q is going to back off for now by the looks of it. Wait. Hold that thought. He's still very clumped on the front. I'd like to see some pre-spreading for Cure. Widow Mines are going to cover his retreat. Very nice Widow Mines. Would have been cool to see a retarget. Those Stalkers had used the blink forward, so he could have targeted at least 1, if not 2 Widow Mines on top of that. And actually, a couple of medevacs go down. Wasn't expecting this. Cure has a 26 army supply lead. He's got to be fighting out front. I think he should just spread his units out front and stand his ground, but he's got to pre-spread his units as much as possible. I've noticed a lot of the top Terrans are still trying to stutter step against this sort of army. There's not that many Zealots. Pre-spreading is way more important. It's all about dealing with the Storm, and I would say a little bit the Immortals and the Stalkers by just being spread out. Honestly, if the Zealots land hits on you, it is what it is. You just have to accept that, but this is a pretty good spready. I do think he should have units down here as well, because here there's only so much room for you to spread. And I just think it's one of those things where, with this mass Storm meta, Terrans are playing like it's a year or 2 ago. And it's just still a little more clumped than I'd like to see. The EMPs do go out, but the Storms have already landed. Oh, that was a good defensive setup. The EMPs landed. Hero is kind of famous for clumping up his High Templar into EMP on these sorts of attacks. Of course, in this case, he had the Warp Prism. So he just kind of was unloading them and they ended up all in one spot. There is no 4th base for Hero. 67 workers. Q has got a gigantic supply lead. He's only got 3 ghosts though. I'd love to see him split up and multi-drop. I think that's one of the best ways to take advantage of a Storm player. Hard for him to have Storm everywhere he needs. Right now, 1-1 upgrades are about to finish for Terran, whereas +1's just started, or 1-1's just started for Protoss. Oh, he eats a pretty big Storm though. It feels like he was very afraid of this army, and now look at this. The Zealots are going to pull him home. right when Q is at double the army supply. I do think Q should have this game in the bag if he can just kind of either force a fight or macro up. And he's got to make that decision now, though, because he's wasting time, and he hasn't gone for a 4th command center. He's got 5 barracks, factory star, but no 4th command center, no 2nd eBay armory. There we go. 2nd eBay armory goes down. Ghost count starting to grow as well. 4th command center. I think you can do this and still attack, though. I don't think Q should be giving Hero quite as much respect as he is. There's one thing I've learned is that if you let Hero put you in the corner, look how confident he is. What's Hero's army? 7 High Templar, 5 Stalkers, 2 Immortals, 2 Archons. He's got nothing. He's got a single Prism. He's got himself 2 Zealots, and yet he's probing and building that 4th base up to 74, 75 workers. Which is crazy. Good pullback with the SCVs, minimizes splash damage from the tank. More ghosts are building. 6 ghosts so far against those 7 High Templar, but remember, Hero's really good at using energy recharge, warping in High Templar, using energy recharge, and letting them bank energy. He's been scattering them better and better these days. It's very hard to EMP every single Templar. A lot of Terrans are still trying to do the kind of clump up and just like move and shoot. And if you do it perfectly, it can still work out, but very little room for error with that style. Stormdrop comes in, gets shot down. Dude, Q is wrecking Hero. What's the units lost? Oh my gosh, almost 2-1. But Q is kind of chilling right now, and I'm like, okay, we can get a move on, man. 3 more barracks and a starport's good, but he just doesn't need to be respecting Hero this much, and maybe a little paranoid about getting ambushed by Storm. He's hitting his macro perfectly. I cannot criticize Q's macro whatsoever. Hero's still miles behind, but Q, he's maxed out. He said, okay, it's time to move out. His upgrades haven't gotten any better recently. He doesn't have a lot of Vikings. He's just got, I think, the 2 that were shooting down the prism, right? Where are they? Oh, looks like they are with the medevacs. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Command Center does get pushed back by those Stalkers. Not a huge thing to be concerned about. He's going to shove the front. Is Cure. And what do we got? 11 High Templar, a handful of Immortals, Archons, and a few Zealots and Stalkers. There are so few units here. Surprised he didn't feed back that Raven until just now. All right. First Storm doesn't really do too much. Got to be really sparing with that Ghost energy, though. Good EMP there. Does clip a Storm of the Marauders, but not too bad. Hero's adding a lot of Zealots. He's up to 19 Zealots now. His army's getting pretty big. Q is going to need to fight this. I think he should actually run back south or just stim forwards into these guys. Those guys are getting pushed back, but there's more High Templar coming from the south. It's going to be hard. He's going to have to pre-spread. He has to just pre-spread and take the fight. Oh my gosh, he eats a giant Storm. Storm comes in from the right side. The next one doesn't really land, but he's still awfully clumped and he's getting surrounded right now. I don't like this positioning for Cure. He's getting flanked. The army coming in from 2 sides. The EMPs pop the Archons and Immortals, but my gosh, those Storms land pretty damn big. More High Templar coming in from mine. It looked like Cure was about to come out on top, but it's always those reserve Templar, not to mention 2 inside the Warp Prism coming in from the backline. And it's just an endless supply of Size Storm. It does not run out. Oh man, I wonder if Liberators could help in these scenarios. For me, it just feels like you want to be attacking multiple areas, but the Storm all over the shop is just tough to deal with. I think Lib Harass and Drop Harass is good because it'll just force him to make more Stalkers. But when you multitask like that, the problem is you end up walking into Storms. And that's what's really hard because Cure, remember how far ahead he was? That the units lost gap has actually closed after that last fight. And the High Templar count is so good. Six High Templar. He makes 6 more. These ones are going to become Archons, of course. How do you have enough EMPs to deal with the Archons and also all of the High Templar? It's incredibly hard to execute. Not to mention those Ghosts cost 3 supply ahead these days. Zealot, Stalker, Archon, High Templar coming forwards. Widowmine does land. Prism does get shot down. Storm lands on the bio. Marine Marauder Ghost, ooh, eating some pretty big storms. We've got a good section of Immortal Archon hanging out. Okay, that is just so much Immortal Archon, dude. Hero. He's like, I lost 7,000 resources. You lost 3.5. Doesn't matter. I'm going to make High Templar. And Cure, I think, just gave him too much time. I would have loved to see Cure just keep the momentum up and keep pressuring. But it's not really Cure's style. He's a stable macro player, a guy who does this, that, and everything. Man, this has got to be so frustrating. He was so ahead off the early game, but just could not deal with that mass storm. And I actually love the high Immortal Archon count for Hero, and Hero patiently works his way back into Tokamak. I've seen him do this on this map before, where he kind of takes these attacks that don't go well, but he just stays in the face of the Terran. They look a little paranoid turtling on their 3 base. They can't get out of their corner, dude. The tail end of this fight's pretty good for Cure, but he's already lost the 41 workers. That's the issue. Income tab. I dare not. Actually, we've got graphs, right? Income advantage. You could see it was ahead for Cure for quite a bit, but the last 6-7 minutes have been a bit better. And the army size graph was way better for Cure for a very long time. But of course, as a High Templar gathers energy, it doesn't actually cost more money. So that graph doesn't really show you the exact difference. This hero pushes in. EMP lands on only 2 of the High Templar. I love the way he just clumps his High Templar and just jukes them back and forwards. Obviously, it's very vulnerable. We have seen Hero throw some games where 6 High Templar eat a double EMP and his army gets stimmed on top of, but this is not going to be that game. GG, well played. Does this graph still work at the end? Yeah. You can see the army size difference, right? I think if you're this far ahead, and I guess this shows supply, right, of army. So like from like this point, he's pretty far ahead, but then especially from here, you're at like 90 army supply, Hero's at like maybe 50, and then you've maintained that lead. And then it actually, you can see he actually moved out late. Why? Because from here, Hero's army climbed from there to there. Q's army didn't get any better until the fight happened. So I actually think Q should have moved out at least 30 seconds to a minute earlier while his army was still growing. I think he gave Hero a little bit too much time. I don't normally use this graph, but I just found the button. So I was like, oh, let's take a look. I think definitely that first fight was just too efficient, chasing his army up to this top left side. I wonder if Q had just actually committed in on this base. Could he have actually pushed through? Maybe gave a bit too much respect to the High Templar. Either way, great comeback for Hero game 1. All right, guys, going into the next game, we got Hero in the top left side, Q down here in the bottom left. That's going to be such a frustrating game, dude. I don't know what Denata Gooey means, but I like it. Denata Gooey. This is Merry-Go-Round, aka Last Fantasy, 3-player map. We'll see if either player does. Excuse me. I was going to say, we'll see if either player goes for something tricky, because you often get scouted a lot later on this map. Some players just choose not to even bother scouting, at least not until the Reaper comes out. So there are some cheeky all-ins. Proxy Hellion drop could come out. You just do it in the middle of the map or up here or something once your Reaper scouts where he is. Yeah, there's a few options. Could go Proxy Oracle. Hero is the sort of weirdo who might do that. Q is going double gas. No scout to start. Looks like his barracks just rallied to the natural. This probe's going to go forwards. Now, with this map, you're going to notice there's a few key features. The air walls around the edge. You cannot fly past this red wall. So this area up here you cannot get to. Other than that, you've also got bases that are just very spread out. So it's hard to defend. It's a good attacking map. Also a crazy middle area because you've got these speed zones everywhere. So they're generally bad for Terran, I would say. Though it depends. Well, against Zerg, they're worse for Terran. Whoever's got the more short-range army, they're better for. So if you're playing like Masses Abbot, these are really good for you, right? But if you're playing like Colossus against Marauders, obviously it's way better for the Marauders because they can just close the distance and negate your range advantage very easily. So depends on exactly what we see. Hero's scouted. He knows through a process of elimination that he's down here, and he's going to go for some sort of proxy. Dark Templar are out of fashion these days. Estrella tried it at the World Championship. It didn't go well. And it is time for a second pylon, isn't it? What is this? Wait, this is a third pylon. Oh, he's on 1 gas. Oh, it's a parting build, guys. But he went gateway gas. Normally you go gate, nexus, then gas. Okay, so it's a poorly executed parting build. Sorry, Hero. Got to throw you under the bus. We can check. We can benchmark to see how this matches up. It's a 3-gate proxy, guys, where you hit with like Adepts or Stalkers, your call, depending on the situation. Usually Adepts to start. And usually you have 2 gateway units out, which you can see he's got a Stalker, he's got an Adept. And then you warp in 3 more units at 3 minutes and 18 seconds with the perfect version of this build. Because Kua has no idea about the gas missing, he has no idea this is coming. But he's planning a 1-base all-in of his own. He's doing reactor first into just Marines, a siege tank, 2 barracks Marine tank. He'll build 1 medevac, and then he'll build probably Viking or Liberator behind that. So he's doing a 1-base all-in. Meanwhile, Hero, he's actually got a good setup to deal with this because he's going to have so much production. As you can see, how's that warp gate finishing? It's meant to be 3-minute 18 warp in for the original parting build. This is not that. This is going to be more closer to 3:30 by the looks of it. And we'll see how he matches up. Stalkers being able to harry this force on the way across the map could be good. Looks like the Stalkers are going to start warping in, or the Adepts, I should say, just before 3 minutes 30. The final one warping in at 3:35. 336 even. Oh, one of his adepts stumbles into the Marines. That's a bad start. It'd be much better if he had Stalkers out to slow this push down, but if he can intercept these Marines on the way out, that could be excellent. Q, don't let him up, don't let him up, don't let him up. Okay, this is nice. Catching a bunch of these Marines is really good for Hero. He does find 2 Marines for free. Will he be able to get another one? I think he will. Maybe, maybe not. Uh-oh, that Adept's going to go down. Second Adept killed. That's totally fine trading here for Cure. Like 3 Marines for 2 Adepts, he'll take that any day. And he can pick up and move out, so he doesn't have to lower the depot. I think he should keep pushing, though. I think these guys should already be pushing. I think he's got to hurry up. He's waiting for 2 more Marines. Liberator will fly to rally, and he'll defend with Marine Tank. This is actually really smart, because it's going to be so hard if these units are on the wrong side of the map to defend. He's making as many Stalkers as he can. A Sentry, Zealot, Shield Battery, anything. These Stalkers need to get out there and try to weaken this before it gets there. Twilight Council is on the way. You can go either Dark Templar or for Charge to defend this. Few SCVs do go down. Q is going to rely on the Siege Tank sieging up. Take care of those Adepts. They will take out yet another Marine. No, they don't. They actually pull back there, but... Oh, they stay in range! One of those Adepts just got busted. The other 2 very low. Medevac almost flies in and dies. Unfortunate miss micro there for Cure. But one Siege Tank does siege up. Gets a shot off as well. I thought the units were going to fade away there for Hero. Hero's doing a great job of controlling space. He's going to go Charge. No gas for Dark Shrine in this game. He's also building a 4th gateway. I'd love to see him keep cutting off the Reinforce, though. I don't think you can let him kind of march forward. He's hoping Cure moves forward too quickly. But Q is taking his time. Always leaving 2 units sieged up. Only 1 unsieged. So if Hero dives in... There's only going to be 1 unit that's in the middle of this kind of siege on siege animation. 1 Marine does go down. Got those 2 Adepts behind, but they're not cutting off the Reinforce. Oh, good force fields. He gets 1, 2. Can he get a 3rd and a 4th? You don't want to pick it up with those Medevacs. Medevac's so low on life. He does need repair SCVs, guys, but he doesn't have any. There we go. 4 SCVs coming across the map right now. They could really help out. Q is getting close now. 1 shield battery's down. There's 3 more shield batteries here. Not ready to take care of this. Hero doesn't quite have charge. He's going to try and engage. The Guardian Shield helping a little bit. The tanks are blasting those Stalkers. You can see the way the tanks keep targeting the Stalkers because they do bonus damage to them. I maybe should have focused that Sentry earlier since it did have Guardian Shield, and that was massively reducing the Marines' damage, down by 33% for the duration of that fight. That being said, all the Stalkers are gone, except for 3. The Sentries are gone. There's still 2 libs. The Marines here. Charge is done, but there's so few Zealots. Can they actually take out any of these siege units? It's going to be tough. The Liberator's too strong. The Zealots get cleaned up. Units lost tab. 1,050 minerals in favor of Cure. That is too efficient. He's got position. He has a 30 army to 12 supply lead. I don't think 4 Stalkers and 2 Zealots can deal with this. Not with Bunker going up. Not with SCVs ready to repair. He should really repair this Liberator. There we go. They finally start to drill that up. Ooh, Cure going for a blind 1 base solid. I said you might do a proxy. You might do a build because people don't scout as much on this map. Hero thought he was the one being aggressive off of 2 base, delaying his 2nd gas to get really fast 3 gate. Turns out Cure was planning something even more aggressive, and sometimes it is indeed the cheesier build that wins out. And right now I don't see many answers for this. You're losing production. You've got a 3rd gateway coming back up in the main, but you've already lost so much stuff. You've lost all your probes on this natural as well. And these units are kind of trapped. I don't think you're going to get to this low ground. Oh, here we go. Coming on down. The Marines trying to pull back there. They pull back into that nice choke point between the siege tanks. Tanks, very tanky units. The Libs are doing so much. The Stalkers, they finally take out 1 Liberator, but at what cost? Every single one of them goes down. There's still 2 tanks, a Liberator, and a pack of Marines with a bunker on the front line. Cure ties up the series 1-1. All right, guys, Hero in the bottom left side now. He's getting eBay blocked, and he has not scouted it because he's going a double gas build. He's building a Zealot. He doesn't see that engineering bay. This SCV is like, oh, no Nexus, what's going on? Cure, up here in the top right. Looks like he's going to go factory before expand. So that is a gas first eBay block. Classic. I do like the gas first eBay block. People posting fanfiction erotica in the chat. I skimmed it. I didn't read it. And I am sure I am glad I did not. Artosis Twitch chat does sometimes spill over. I've been thinking maybe next year sometimes I might actually go and do like a deep dive on StarCraft 1. Kind of like, I think Harstam did one, right? Where he played like 100 hours of StarCraft 1 or something. I think I might do that at some point next year. In a few months, I think like next month, towards the end of September, but especially October and November, I'm going to be going a bit of a deep dive on Age of Empires 2 and trying to improve at that as much as I can, as well as do some casting and just having some fun with that. But maybe early next year we might get a chance to do a deep dive on StarCraft 1, because I never really played StarCraft 1 competitively at all. That could be a lot of fun. But I do fear Artosis channel viewers coming over and putting a lot of straight up adult content in my chat, which is going to be, it'll be fun. We'll have to promote a whole bunch of new moderators. Anyways, Hero does go for the Nexus here. It's incredibly late, but he's been probing the whole time. He's got the Twilight Council. And remember, it's a very delayed command center. So this is one of these things where it's like the Protoss build is screwed up. The Terran build is also screwed up. Who comes out on top? I don't really know. My instincts tell me when I'm playing Protoss, I feel behind in this scenario. And when I'm playing Terran, I feel behind in this scenario. And that just tells me I just don't understand the position very well, right? That tells me that this is not a part of the game that I understand deeply. Ah, and he's going to go charge. Okay, so Hero's going to go charge. In case there is a very fast like tank marine push to follow this up, charge is going to be one of the best ways to shut that down. Clem is waiting in the grand finals, guys. This is the second semifinal. All right. SCV scouting everywhere for proxies. Kira's a little paranoid, man. I definitely feel like Kira has Kira afraid in how he's playing. And the moment you can sense that is the moment where, you know, there's a huge advantage to the other player. Like, look at this bunker going down so early. Now, to be fair, there's a Stargate building for Hero, guys, which is nonsense. This is the latest Stargate ever. The only reason you'd do this is, I guess it does counter the Raven with the Phoenix. He's literally just going to build one Phoenix, is he? No, he's going to make an Oracle. What? Does he go on Oracle, put stasis traps everywhere, and then use a Phoenix to kill the Raven so the stasis traps pay off? What is this? Fascinating. It could be because he expects Banshee, but he sees no cloak now upgrading Hero, so he doesn't need the Oracle for detection. Kua gets a full scout! Kua's SCV walks into his base and sees him building Phoenix. What is this game right now, guys? Dude. What is this? He doesn't know about the Oracle, at least. That's something that's good for Hero. Dude, this game is so ridiculous. Big thank you, Milo, offering to become a moderator. Well, offering to become a moderator on your new account. I didn't realize you were Ponyo, dude. Yeah, definitely. Please, 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 brother. Remind me after this game if you could. I will absolutely give you that moderator. Hard to run all the gambling the degenerates need in order to be entertained by a StarCraft game. Double Forge. So it's Double Forge Phoenix Zealot. I actually dig this style. This is purely reactive creative play from Hero. And to deal with this, you need Mass Marine. Some Marauders as well, but you need a lot of Marines. Like, if you actually did a single Tech Lab double reactor build, it would be perfect, because the moment Stim and Shields is done off that Tech Lab, you'll have so many Marines off the extra reactor, and like you just friggin' destroy the Phoenix Zealot. And you really want to hit a timing before Storm gets added in. Just easier said than done. This is 2-gas style. It's going to be a while until Storm would get there, and Hero will most likely take a very quick 4th base. Usually you do. Some players, I mean, you usually wouldn't probe the 4th base until you see that Q has started the 3rd command center, but you definitely could go for it. There is a Raven out, which means stasis traps shouldn't do much, guys. There are a few in the middle of the map. Phoenix sees the Raven. Ravens are light. They die very quickly to Phoenix. 7 Phoenix shots to kill a Raven. Okay, army's pushing. There's so many Zealots on the map. They're in the wrong spot right now. 15 Zealots are coming back. 1-1's not quite finished. It's about, yeah, 30 seconds away, maybe 20 when you're using the other stuff as well. Auto turrets go down very early for Cure. Those are going to be exhausted by the time the fight happens. Marines do not have combat shields just yet. Oh, okay, combat shields kicks in. Auto turret does go down. Good stutter step, but that Guardian shield's excellent. And the Phoenix Stalker Sentry actually doing great damage on the Medivacs. They need to boost out of there. He's trying to stutter step as hard as he can, but there's so many Zealots, and the +1 armor did kick in during the battle. He does have some Widow Mines. He's trying to gather his forces. Oh, the retarget on the mine was actually really nice. Does hit 3 or 4 of those Zealots, but the Mass Zealot does hold their own. I think Q needs to run away now. I think the fact that you've kept your army together is good. Let your health recover. Oh, he's going to lose a Medivac or 2 potentially. He's got a Cyclone. When was that hit? I guess that was from the early game. It was defending his main. Okay, 4th and 5th barracks is coming in, 3rd command center as well. You just do not want to fight for a while as Cure. And you've also got to realize that 1-1 is finished. I don't know if he's realized, because +1 armor was a bit quicker. If he realizes that 1-1 is finished, then Cure kind of needs to rush 2nd eBay Armory. Like Ghost, or you can go Ghost Academy, but if you go Ghost Academy before 2nd eBay Armory here, you're accepting you're going to be so far behind in upgrades for so long. It's just a hard spot to be in, because you got to deal with, I don't know when Hero's going gas, when is he going Templar Archives. One of the things you can do is you could drop a scan on the natural to see if the gases are there. But as we can see, the gases are on the 3rd. Templar Archives, they're very hard to scout right now for Cure and to figure out what's happening. He's going to go Armory. Armory builds pretty slow. eBay builds pretty quickly, so he'll probably add that 2nd eBay just a little bit. 2nd eBay goes down now. Very nice. 2 more tech labs come down, so he's going to play 4 tech labs, 1 reactor. He wants the meaty army. Most Terrans favor that these days. You know, this was considered suboptimal for a long time. Go back to those videos Uthermal made 7 years ago, or whenever it was, like 6-7 years ago. He's saying, oh, this isn't the most optimal. Most people want more Marines, but he just kind of said, in my experience, the splash damage is too punishing against heavy Marine. It's better to just have more Marauders, more Ghosts. And it's interesting that that's... Most players do that these days. I think Piyun might still be a 2-reactor guy. I'm not sure. I feel like at least half of the Terrans, though, have changed up the style now. Storm's not quite ready. Still a 20-second window. This might be a real sweet spot if he can deny this 4th. Auto turrets go down very early. Phoenix... Oh! I can't believe it that the Phoenix died so quickly, but the Widow Mine still fired anyway. Did massive damage to the Marines there. Storm's done. I think Cure getting the 5th. That's all he's going to get there. Raven does survive, funnily enough. Can his army even get home? He's going to leave it here and try to rally everything else back there. With only 5 barracks building, though, it's tough, man. It's very tough. And this army is going to try and go for, like, droppy distractions, but Hero does not care. He's got 2-2 against 1-1. He's just going to overwhelm you. Doesn't even have a wall off right now. It's a problem. Splitting Zealots in the 3rd. Very nicely done. Cure needed to play Cavalier with that drop. He needed to be YOLO style to try and distract him. Medevac's going down the south side of the map. Ooh! Big recall's going to come in. Cure has to turn around and drop that low ground right now, but doesn't know where Storm's going to come from. Lost 27 workers. He did catch the High Templar with a few Marines moving down. Juicy move. He should be able to deal with these Zealots. Upgrade disadvantage is not great, but when it's just a handful of Zealots, it's fine. Oh, but the Storm! Oh no, he tried to take out the pylon that was warping in the High Templar. Couldn't get it in time. Eats big storms, and Hero has this one in the bag. Nice play by Hero. I love the just scout everything with hallucinations. Go for the Oracle Phoenix to counter what he thought was a Banshee build. And then just go into Double Forge Charge. It's a very powerful style. It does not get used enough at the pro level, and it really takes a fine touch to deal with. Hero leads 2-1. All right, guys, Hero's in the bottom right, going for that Cybercore before Nexus and a little probe harassment. Q is going to lock him in with that depot. It is single gas, though. So why would you lock him in with the depot? Is he faking that he's doing a 2nd barracks with a tech lab on it? Because I feel like delaying your command center is not worth killing a probe. He just builds a command center in front. He's literally... Dude, I would 100% recall that probe. Like, because you know he's... Just go to this corner and then recall it in, like, 3 seconds. Like, right at 2 minutes. Yeah. He could have waited a few seconds longer, ran to the left, and then recalled just to waste more of the Reaper's time. But he's got core first, so it doesn't matter. It's just worth it. If he's going to delay his command center, building a depot, it's so worth just doing that. You don't even need to necessarily chrono the Stalker, or if you waste their time a little bit, but didn't waste too much time, so he's going to play it safe. Chrono the Stalker into an Adept. Nice play. Don't fart in the... Thank you, Webster. I appreciate it. Chat's trying to use reverse psychology on me. Joke's on you. I'll always do the opposite of what you say. Lovely. Oh, okay. Reaper gets himself killed, but does get a probe. I mean, he at least saw the Twilight, right? He did see the Twilight. Okay, that's okay. I think that's not too bad. Third command center is coming up, Starport and Reactor there. Factory's going to swap over and begin a Cyclone, which will regain map control, at least on his side of the map for Cure. Orbital starts Tech Lab is on the factory, which means you just start the reactor. Always a bit slow on your marine production with these early Cyclone builds, but the Cyclones just push back all of the Protoss shenanigans in the early stages. Like, you see the Tech Lab and immediately Hero is going to just run home. Going to use the Shade, see if the Cyclone's out yet, just to get a little bit of extra info, but does see the Cyclone pop, cancels the Shade. Charges on the way again, and a second gateway, and a third gateway. Now, like I said, the counter to this would be if you go for a single Tech Lab double reactor build, is the best thing. And if you just don't trade until you have like 50 Marines with stim, shields, +1. If you get a few mines in the mix as well, amazing. Just make sure those mines do not friendly fire. 3 gateways and a battery. And now a Stargate again. He's going to try and play the same style. Interesting. But so Hero's doing the same build as last game, the super delayed Stargate. But there's no Tech Lab starport this time. So this is not going to work out. I think he probably, yeah. There's 3 barracks already up, man. And he sees like, oh no. And this looks like an all-in. It looks like a Marine tank all-in. I would cancel the Stargate if I was Hero and just make Zealots and a 3rd Nexus. Hero is a mad lad. He's going to build it anyway. I think he's just still going to go Stasis Trap. I think it's just going to be straight Stasis Trap spam. Not a bad way to play, especially the 4 Stalkers and the Sentry picking off Marines as he moves out. Thank you very much for the 200 biddies, Francois Yolo. Engineering bay is on the way, as well as the Liberator. The barracks are swapping around. It is going to be a double Tech Lab, which is standard. You can double Tech Lab is fine. It's not like it's a problem, guys. But yeah, quick 4th and 5th barracks. Just 2 base all in, and if you can get him before he has Storm, it's so good. But the fact that there's no Phoenix building and he's taking 2 gases, Hero sniffs this out. Hero drops the Templar Archives way earlier than last time. Hero showing flexibility. Can he get it ready in time? I think so, because you're going to be so afraid of the charge Zealots, right? And the Zealots are already thinking about doing a pre-stim timing here. Liberator will chase off the Oracle. Tank's exposed. Oh, the Marines are off the ramp. Oh, no! There is a tank on the high ground. Cyclone and Lib should be able to easily defend this. Stim's done. Yeah, and he pulls back. Good safe play by Kua there. But this buys Hero the time he needs, because this is what Hero did in game 1 as well. Make Kua paranoid, and then just make mass Storm. He's going to make 2 more gates, which will be 6 gates. He still does need to make Storm. 200 gas has just ticked over. He's putting Stasis Traps on the map. Kind of oddly placed Stasis Traps, I feel like, because the army won't necessarily move through there. Oh, we're going 8 gateways before Storm. And 2 High Templar. I mean, it's good to gather energy, but you do need to actually have Storm finish as well. I think Hero thinks Storm is upgrading, guys. If he doesn't start it right now with 200 gas. Okay, he does. I was like, if he doesn't start it now. He was just being a bit greedy. He wants more energy on these guys to gather up. He should use energy recharge as well on one of them. And here we go. Adept sees the move out. Storm definitely got very delayed, but I think he's going to have it just in time. Stasis Traps, like I said, a bit oddly positioned because that one's better than the other one. Oh, the Marines eating an Omega Stasis. Cyclone at least gets revenge and gets a single Stalker, but that's a 20-second delay on the push. 20-second delay on the push is crazy, man. Such a big delay. Zealot does walk into the army and dies. Cyclone not setting that one off, which means it's going to get a more effective one on a tank and a bunch of Marines and a Marauder. Oh, Stasis Traps are so good. 3 High Templar are there. Storm, not quite ready. The High Templar are all looking to flank from that side. Be good to have one down here as well, just in case the bio stims in that direction. He does realize the army's over here, and he's going to rotate his own force to intercept that, so he's not getting kind of flanked by those High Templar. This tank on the left side is going to try to get up here. Dude, this is so scary for Cure. He's got a few Hellbats in the mix. Oh my gosh, pull out! Oh, he's too clumped. He's too clumped. He's too clumped! You can't be clumping like that. You got to be spreading before the fight starts. He's going to get wrecked. Phoenix picks up the tank. Zealots charge on top. The Storms are way too good. Zealots intercept the rally there. Phoenix will take care of the Lib along with the help of those Stalkers and the Archon. And that is a just smashing, punishing engagement there. The Stasis Traps bought him time, and the fact that he didn't build Phoenix until after he went Templar Archives just shows, you know, Hero is so smart, figured out what he needed to do. He goes double Forge now. He's shut down the 2 base all in. There will be another wave, and he is probing building gases and double Forge, which to me is a sign that he's not really respecting the follow-up when he probably should be. He's only got 2 High Templar. He's not building more Zealots right now, and he should definitely be building more Zealots and more High Templar. He's making a Robo as well. This is a very big next wave of all-in, and Hero, he's making a few Zealots at home. Okay, that's important. I'd love to see Zealots rip off the rally. I think the rally is very vulnerable right now. Just 4 or 5 Zealots hitting the rally point. Because your Storm's going to delay this push a long time no matter what. Still only 2 High Templar, though. Still not mass warping in. Hero's thinking about a 4th base. Does he not realize this is a 2-base all-in? He might think there's a 3rd command center behind this. His army is so small. Finally, he sends a big Zealot counter. Feels like Hero, his army's in a bit of disarray. These guys are just chilling, not on a control group. Zealot counter does go in. It's more Zealots than I would have expected for him to send. But it's powerful. Remember, there's no upgrades for the Protoss just yet. The fact that Hellbats are being built is actually so cool. He's legitimately playing Hellbat Bio is cure here. I think the idea being Hellbats can tank Psystorm and deal with the Zealots. Normally Widow Mines would be the more standard choice against this. But he's kind of doing a mix and match. Hellbats don't do a lot of damage against Zealots because they're, you know, Zerglings are so fragile they die to like 2 or 3 Hellbat shots. But Zealots, they take so many of them, it's, you know, the Hellbat's okay against the Zealot. It's not amazing. Here we go. Big push comes in. Zealot, Stalker, Phoenix. He doesn't really need to attack right now, but Hero just feels like he can. Oh, where there's a will, there's a way. Lands some pretty good storms. He's got more storm he can always use to retreat at like any moment as well. Looking for more EP. Oh, he clumps his High Templar. He always clumps his High Templar so bad with these attacks, and he's going to lose the Archon and all of the High Templar. Great engagement for Cure there. Hero attacking just before his 1-1 finished into a 2-base all-in player when he's on 4 bases. Very intelligent decision, guys. And the reason is it's the last thing you'd ever expect. And a lot of players would panic and be a bit too clumped and die to that push. So that's I'm joking, that's the only reason that push would ever be a good choice. On paper, fundamentals of StarCraft, you've got 4 bases, you've got upgrades about to kick in, he's on 2 bases, he's all in. It makes no sense to attack there whatsoever. But Hero likes to do Hero things, and he does make the game a lot more unpredictable and exciting as a result, even if it does hurt a little bit as a Hero fan to see him take engagements unnecessarily. Got a good spread on the High Templar. Great Storm. EMP lands, but that High Templar had already used its energy. Phoenix will pick up that Widow Mine nicely. High Templar comes in from the right side. Double EMP needed. Double EMP needed. He cops the Storm before he can land it. I think there's just too much Stalker Phoenix Zealot here. Hero was so far ahead. Now that his 1-1's finished as well, his units are performing so much better. There's so little medevac healing in here. Hero just has so much stuff. So much stuff. Ooh, Phoenix there doing their stuff. Phoenix going to be dancing. Command Set is going to float down. He's going to try and elongate his 2-base all-in. His Cure. He's basically trying to do some necromancy on this 2-base all-in. He sees a 4th base. You know Cure's like, well... Oh! Storm drop. Okay, that's... If you had a lot of medevacs, that would be fine. He doesn't have a lot of medevacs, though, so he's kind of screwed. He's just hoping Hero makes a huge doo-doo right now as Cure. It looks like Hero will secure that spot in the finals against Clem. It's been a while since I saw a Hero Clem final, so I'm actually really excited for this one, guys. Oh! Got another great Storm ambush. Oh, it's so hard just to get across the map. And look how much gateway there is waiting for him. Phoenix picking up the Widow Mines, not letting them burrow. The Zealots even pull back to let the Stalker Immortal come forward. Great micro for Hero there. New base is mining on the new natural. The main base, of course, floating down there. Hero just needs to avoid throwing the game. I know Koreans love baseball, but I don't think Hero's the biggest fan himself. I think he's gonna be taking this one out. Yeah. No pitching that game. And Hero gets a 3-1. Really well played by him. And I'm fascinated by this scout everything with hallucinations and just make a bunch of gateways and zealots and then pivot into Oracle Phoenix later, but then also pivot into Storm based on what you see from your opponent. He did it much faster this game and it was really effective.